Damn, that's satisfying. Hey everyone, Henry Yellow here, welcome back. Right now we are going to watch The Big Heat, directed by Fritz Lang. I'm looking at the movie poster here and it says, somebody's going to pay because he forgot to kill me. Okay, I'm gonna make 3 guesses as to what the plot of the movie might be. The first is, a guy forgot to kill a girl and now she's going to take revenge. Or maybe the guy failed to kill the girl and now she's coming for revenge. Or number 2, a guy forgot to kill another guy, or he failed to kill another guy, and then now this guy who was the victim is going to take revenge on that guy and his family. Or number 3, a murderer killed an entire family, but he forgot to kill a little boy who was the son of the family. Now the son has grown up and he is seeking revenge. I don't know if any of my guesses will be correct. And then there's this tiny little guy at the outside of the frame holding a gun. I don't know what that's about, but I guess I'll find out. Now, if you'd like to watch my full reaction to this movie, then you can go ahead and check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below, and there are also many Patreon special movies, which means movie reactions, which are only exclusively on Patreon. So go and check it out. Remember to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you know whenever a new YouTube video reaction is out. Now let's watch The Big Heat and let's see if any of my guesses are on point. District Attorney Willard Ford. His final will, I guess. And his wife does not seem surprised.
Mr. Lagana, tell him it's Tom Duncan's widow.
Oh, I'm glad you called me, Mrs. Duncan. Yes, of course we will get together. But now I suggest you call the police immediately.
When a cop killed himself, they want a full report.
Do you know him?
Just to say hello to. He was in charge of the record bureau.
Suicide, no question.
No note or anything, I guess.
No, nothing.
The wife took it.
My name is David Banyan. I knew your husband slightly.
When I found him, he was dead.
I don't believe her crocodile tears.
Well, do you know why he took his life?
Must have been his health.
Then he didn't see a doctor.
Not that he ever told me.
Goodbye, Miss Duncan. I want some beer?
I'll take a sip of yours.
It's a perfect marriage. We share the same scotch, the same cigarette, the same can of beer. What? Who says Duncan didn't kill himself? What's your name?
Lucy Chapman.
All right, I'll go see her.
The Retreat.
Okay, what is this information you have?
He wasn't worried about his health, not for a single minute.
And what was he worried about?
Nothing. Not after his wife agreed to divorce him.
How'd you get to know Duncan?
I met him a year ago, down on Lakeside. Tom owned a summer place there. His wife traveled a lot. Sometimes when she was away, I used to go to the house.
What's your pitch, Lucy? You trying to use us for a shakedown?
I understand. You're covering up for a cop's widow. You don't want to find out anything that'll change her story.
I want to find out facts.
Tom had no reason to kill himself.
The fact is he did kill himself, and that's positive. Well, she claims that she saw your husband a few nights ago, and there was nothing wrong with his health, and that you'd agreed to divorce him.
She's a liar. Tom never wanted a divorce. And he wasn't a well man.
There's a chance that Lucy Chapman might try a little blackmail. She knows that you own that house at Lakeside. She probably thinks you're wealthy.
A wealthy policeman would be a novelty.
Would you mind telling me about the house at Lakeside?
For Tom's sake, I resent the implication of your questions.
Look, Mrs. Duncan, there was no implication.
Good night, Mr. Banyan.
Okay, we still don't know the truth yet, but it did look like suicide, even from our perspective. I think that's Lucy Chapman. She got beaten up and killed.
Trouble automatically catches up with girls like her.
I'd say pretty definitely it was psychopathic. You saw those cigarette burns on her body.
He knows something is wrong now.
I had a call from upstairs. What have you been bothering Mrs. Duncan about?
Did she complain?
Somebody did. All I'm asking you to do, and I'm not even ordering it, Dave, stop bothering Mrs. Duncan.
Lucy Chapman used to be Duncan's girlfriend.
Damn the armies and navies.
Maybe so. She talks to me just once. And like that, she's dead.
Lucy Chapman was probably trying to shake down some sucker who wouldn't shake. Meanwhile, we'll stop pestering the widow. Okay?
Mrs. Duncan has some connections to the higher-ups.
First I know, Lucy's quitting's about 2 in the morning. They come and go like flies.
Only this fly got herself strangled.
These things happen, Sergeant. They're floaters. Not much more than a suitcase full of nothing between them and the gutter.
You ought to be doing radio commercials. How to talk a lot and say nothing.
Why, I'd be tickled to help if I could. Sorry to bother you. Banyan just left here. No, sir, I just gave him a lot of double talk.
Okay, Buster, who'd you call?
My mother.
Would you rather go downtown to answer the questions?
Somebody will want to know why you're butting into a county case, why you don't stop annoying people, especially after you've been told once. Do we still go downtown?
Not today. When we do, I'll have enough answers to close this joint up. Tell that to your mother.
I think Tom Duncan had some dirt on a higher-up.
You look down in the dumps.
It's nothing much.
You have to use a different tone if you expect me to believe that.
All right, I'll bring home an affidavit tomorrow.
Sorry. It's all right. You're entitled to that off steam. Who is this? He wants you.
Listen, slob. Stop minding other people's business if you want to stay alive.
Who is this? It's just another part of the scheme to make me crawl back in my shell. I don't know who called, but I know where to go to find out.
Risking his life to find out the truth. He's not the type to back down.
10 cops to watch over Mike Lagana.
Mr. Lagana kind of runs things. I guess that's no secret.
You like this detail?
I do what I'm told.
That's what we're all supposed to do, isn't it?
So Mike Lagana isn't a cop.
Dave Banyan. I'm from Homicide. I think I've heard of you. I came about a murder.
You came here to my home about a murder?
A girl named Lucy Chapman was murdered last night. First she was tortured, then strangled.
Who runs your department?
Lieutenant Wilkes.
Wilkes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This is my home, and I don't like dirt tracked into it.
Tomorrow morning, I'll see you don't get the chance to do it again.
What'll you do? Make another phone call, or have somebody make it for you?
Shut up and get out.
We don't talk about those things in this house, do we? Oh, it's too elegant, too respectable. No place for a stinking cop. It's only a place for a hoodlum who built this house out of 20 years of corruption and murder. You know, you couldn't plant enough flowers around here to kill the smell.
Let's go, mister.
You want to pinch it for your boy, Lagana?
What makes you think you could walk into Lagana's house and slug his bodyguard?
What am I supposed to do when some cop hater phones in my home and insults my wife? Sit home and like it? Nothing dirty happens in this city without Lagana's okay.
I'm not interested in your theories, not when they affect my job. That Lucy Chapman killing is a county squeal. It's the sheriff's headache, not ours.
Well, the lieutenant is trying to protect his job.
I've been thinking about Lieutenant Wilkes. You know how long he and his wife have looked forward to retirement? Wilkes only has a few more years to go. He's worried about his pension.
What am I supposed to do? Stringing along, afraid to look to the left or to the right because I might see something that they don't want me to see?
Just keep leading with your chin. Don't you compromise.
That's what I wanted to hear you say.
I love you.
Hey, little girls like you should be sleeping right about now.
Tell me a story.
How about the 3 little kittens?
That lost their mittens.
I need the car keys.
I have a very bad feeling about this. A very, very bad feeling.
You kittens, you lost your mittens. Stay in bed, darling.
Bro, the entire house vibrated. They planted a bomb. Dang, I'm surprised she still looked okay.
I didn't get the opportunity to speak to you at the funeral, Sergeant.
Funeral?
To tell you how hard your tragedy has hit us all.
Oh, his wife didn't make it.
The report says that's where your child is staying. How is the little girl?
She thinks her mother went on a trip. Find out who planted the dynamite in my car.
That's item 1 on the department's agenda.
We're checking back on every homicide you've handled. Relatives and friends of killers you sent to the chair. The motive was revenge. That's obvious.
They'll just find a scapegoat.
These things take time.
Sometimes they take forever.
No, that's no way to talk.
How much would you give besides a lot of phony stories to the newspapers, a pat on the back, and a few kind words for me?
Why don't we go down to my office and talk?
Why, you frightened excuse for a cop. Well, he'll phone you just as soon as he gets his orders from Mike Lagana.
You're under suspension. I'll have your badge and gun. Now, I ask for your gun, too.
That doesn't belong to the department. It's mine. Bought and paid for.
Don't try to use it.
I won't. Not until I catch up with the people who murdered my wife.
Okay.
I just left Wilkes. He said any off-the-record help you need is yours.
Tell him to stop bleeding for me. It'll run all over his pension.
You're way off base, Dave. You don't really know Wilkes.
I don't want to know him.
You've decided people are all scared rabbits, and you spit on them. No man's an island, Dave. You can't set yourself against the world and get away with it.
He can't trust anyone right now because no one can be trusted. And just like that, he's lost his loved one.
Throwing the Chapman girl out on a county road brought us all the advertising we didn't want. Killing Mrs. Banyan. How stupid can you get? I got an appointment in half an hour with Mrs. Duncan. As long as that letter her husband left stays in her safe deposit box, we'll pay what she asks. What about Banyan?
We can take care of him now.
We've stirred up enough headlines. The election's too close.
As I thought, Tom Duncan had dirt on somebody high up, and that's Mike Lagana. And now his wife has the dirt, so she can blackmail Lagana and collect money from him.
Slim Farrow around?
Not anymore.
Where can I reach him?
Spring Rock Cemetery.
Oh, I thought he's Slim Farrow.
My wife was murdered 10 days ago. Someone planted dynamite in our car.
All I know about Slim is that he's dead.
Yep, that loose end was tied up.
There's nothing here for you, mister. Nothing at all.
You know, I've been meeting your kind every day now for 10 years. Scared rabbits that never see a thing. You wouldn't stick out your big fat neck for anybody, would you?
Cops are paid to take risks. I'm not. I've got a wife and kids, too.
Mr. Banyan, he isn't a mean man. It's just that he's frightened. There was a man came to see Slim about 2 weeks ago.
Would you be able to recognize him again?
Oh, yes, he came right into the office and asked me where Slim was. A man named Larry left a message once. He said to call him at the retreat.
I'm very grateful, Miss
Selma Parker. Good luck, Mr. Banyan.
The retreat was where he met Lucy Chapman.
Good night, darling.
Good night, Daddy.
Sleep tight, honey. Call this number here at exactly 9:30 on the dot, will you? And ask for Larry.
Larry who?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Larry who? You must be kidding, mister.
When I say don't pick up the dice so fast, I mean it.
Cigarette burns.
Sit down, Junior.
Get out, kid. Get your boyfriend out of
Come
here,
on, Red,
sister.
let's go home.
You like working girls over, don't you? Maybe you're the one that worked over Lucy Chapman.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is for you. Get yourself something nice. That square, Sergeant?
Get out of here while you can still walk.
Sure.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
With Vince Stone's money, I'd choke on it.
You get your kicks out of insulting people.
Aren't you Vince Stone's girl?
The way you ask it, it sounds like a bunch of dirty words.
Well, that was the general idea. Staying at the Marlin Hotel.
Okay.
I hope I get to see a very satisfying ending.
How come you sat still when Stone burned that girl?
The last time I butted in, Vince worked me over.
Is that how it is being his girl?
Oh, most times a lot of fun. Expensive fun. Sometimes I feel about Vince the way you looked at him tonight. But why kick? You gotta take the bad with the good.
Is the good good enough?
Does it outweigh the bad?
The main thing is to have the money. I've been rich and I've been poor. Believe me, rich is better.
You know Larry at the retreat?
I know lots of Larrys.
You know Mike Lagana, don't you?
Just say hello and goodbye to. When Vince talks business, I go out and get my legs waxed or something. I don't like to hear things.
She knows how to keep a tight lip.
You're about as romantic as a pair of handcuffs. Didn't you ever tell a girl pretty things? You really want me to go?
I wouldn't touch anything of Vince Stone's with a 10-foot pole.
That's a rotten thing to say.
Where you been?
The Garrity Club. Late show.
Why don't you come straight home?
The way you ran out, I didn't think you cared.
The election's this close, I can't afford trouble with a crazy ex-cop. Tierney said you offered to buy Banyan a drink.
Tierney wouldn't know a gag unless it hit him right in the face. No! My arm, Vince! My arm!
You like cops, do you?
I suggest we call it a night.
I suggest you shut your mouth. Oh, you pig. You lying pig!
Oh no.
I'll fix you in your pretty face.
Yo, Vince, she's called it.
She had it coming.
You'll have to make a police report.
That's why we're sending you. Go on, get moving.
Dave was right not to trust the commissioner.
Debbie isn't your problem anymore. She's ours. I don't want her found off any county highway. I don't want her found at all.
They're gonna get rid of her.
I'm alone. I've been hurt.
Debbie made the right choice to run away, or else she wouldn't have been found again.
Vince threw hot coffee in my face. The whole side of my face will be scarred. That made Higgins take me to the doctor.
Higgins, the police commissioner?
Yeah.
Who else was with Stone?
George Fuller, Vince's lawyer, and Larry Gordon.
Who's Larry Gordon?
You don't care. You don't care what happened to me. I was followed when I came here with you. That's why I got this.
You're the one who followed him, and you knew the consequences of hanging out with a person like Vince Stone.
You'll be safe here.
Guess the scar isn't so bad. Not if it's only on one side. I can always go through life sideways. Gordon lives at the Wilton Apartments.
Is Mrs. Davenport at home?
You got the wrong apartment.
He got Selma Parker to help him. Right, because she can recognize Larry. Yeah. But Larry didn't recognize her.
I told you it was a...
His gun is right there.
What about Slim Farrell? Go on, pick it up. What did Slim do for you?
I swear my mother's...
When I let go, start talking.
He told me to get you. Vince Stone.
What about Lucy Chapman?
Stone. He was scared Duncan told her things.
Duncan on the take?
Yeah, for years.
Why didn't they shut up Mrs. Duncan?
I don't know.
I'm gonna spread the word that you talked. You're out of business, thief.
We caught up with Larry before he got to the airport. What's left of him is on the way to the river.
When you use second-raters like Gordon, it's trouble.
If you would okay getting rid of Banyan, he wouldn't be a problem now. Banyan on the bottom of the river with Larry, and there's no more problem.
If he knows anything, he's put it on paper. Anything happens to him, it becomes public property. Take something Banyan values more than himself and we keep him quiet.
His daughter.
He's at my door. What'll I do?
You just stole him.
Yes, I understand.
Your husband was on Lagana's payroll. Now you are. He must have put down all the facts and figures in writing for Lagana to hold still for blackmail. You were even happy when your husband blew his brains out.
We were getting along very well until the soul struggling began.
If anything happens to you, the evidence comes out. That's the way you arranged it. Didn't you, bright lady? With you dead, the big heat follows.
We got a call there was trouble.
He'll be leaving with you, officer.
Banyan could have chosen to shoot Mrs. Duncan, but I guess he's not that type of guy.
I've been feeling like something that's been shut up because nobody wants to look at it. What was your wife like, Dave?
27 years old. Light hair.
That's a police description. Did she like to cook? Like to be surprised? I'm sorry, you don't want to talk about her. Certainly not with me.
Not with anyone.
Did you find Larry?
Yeah, I found him.
And?
He's
I
dead.
ran into a brick wall. Bertha Duncan. If she dies, the letter goes to the newspapers. You know, I almost killed her an hour ago.
But you didn't.
I should have.
If you had, there wouldn't be much difference between you and Vince Stone.
The relief detail didn't show up.
I'll be there in an hour. Keep that for company.
Okay, Mac. Get him up high.
Checkmate.
Hey, hold it, Mark. Hold it. This is my brother-in-law.
What? You could have killed him.
I got the boys over just in case.
Whoa. They all have guns.
When trouble comes, it'll be from hoodlums who know their business. They won't be stopped by amateurs whose hearts happen to be in the right place.
They'll be stopped by bullets, though.
If anybody comes to that door and touches that kid, is going to wind up dead.
Seriously, Banyan, we can handle things.
Now his daughter is better protected than when the police protected her.
Hello, Dave.
But you throwing that pension of yours down into the sewer?
I got my wife's okay. It's the first time in years I breathed good, clean air. If we stick around, it'll make it official.
I'm Vince Stone's girl, Debbie Marsh.
She come on her own? Or did Banyan tell her to come?
Did Mr. Stone send you?
No,
What are you here for, Miss Marsh?
we're sisters under the mink.
You're not making any sense, Miss Marsh. You're not well.
I never felt better in my life.
Oh. I'll assume Debbie acted alone and just took out Mrs. Duncan because she wants revenge against Vince. Now all the truth will come to light. Yo, Debbie got her revenge. Damn, that's satisfying.
In the morning, your face will be like mine.
That's bad.
Bertha Duncan is dead. No more insurance for you and Lagana. I did it.
Damn. Oh.
Debbie. I killed Mrs. Duncan.
Damn, is he trying to run to his death or something? Ooh, he doesn't need to kill him.
Go on, shoot! We'll take your gun, Dave.
You can have him too.
Oh, I thought she died. The heck are you using a stethoscope for? I thought you stopped the bleeding first.
Duncan left a confession. It'll come out now. The lice will try to run. There's no use moving.
Am I gonna die?
If I said you'd live another 100 years, you'd call me a liar.
I must look awful. What was she like?
A real Irish blowtop, but she always got over it fast. She was a sampler. She used to take sips of my drink and puffs on my cigarette. And
I like her a lot.
one of the most important parts of the day was when I came in and saw her looking like something just stepped down off a birthday cake.
Yep, they had to kill Debbie because of the Hays Code. Either that or she had to be arrested.
Have a hit and run over on South Street.
Back on the job, another day as usual. But he lost his wife over this entire ordeal. And she's not gonna come back to life just because the truth is out. This is quite a satisfying revenge movie. I mean, any movie where the bad guys get what's coming to them is always satisfying. But I'm sure if Dave, could do it all over again, he might not do it if he knew that he would lose his wife in the process. He's lost his loved one, and Joyce has lost a mother, all because he wouldn't stop pursuing the truth, and all because of corruption. Mike Lagana controls a lot of the police through the commissioner because he pays him. He pays him a salary to order him around. This kind of corruption is very, I don't know, it's very frustrating and sad to see. And even nowadays, I'm pretty sure we still have this. I mean, I have watched Serpico, and I think wherever there's greed, there will be corruption. Most people are just like the ones who refuse to help Dave Banyan. They don't want to get involved in these kind of things, and you can't blame them. I don't blame him either. Just like the guy who replaced Slim Farrow, He also has a wife and kids, and he doesn't want to get mixed up in it. He doesn't want to endanger his own family and his own life. And hey, I mean, that's fair. It takes a special kind of guy with courage and bravery like Dave Banyan to be willing to risk his own life and also put his own family at risk. Would you say he's a selfish person? Well, you can call him that, but he just wants the truth. He wants the guilty people to be brought to justice. How a person acts really shows you their priorities. You know, people who prioritize justice, or people who prioritize their own life or the lives of their loved ones. The most satisfying scene out of this entire movie would have to be when Debbie splashed hot coffee on Vince's face. An eye for an eye. Of course, due to the Hays Code, they can't have Banyan doing any killing, so they had to give all that to Debbie. So Debbie killed Mrs. Duncan. When they showed Debbie with the bandage on her face, I thought they would never ever take the bandage off because maybe they didn't hire a proper makeup artist to, you know, do that scarring on the face and all that. But they did reveal it at the end, and yeah, they had a makeup artist and they made her face look very, very terribly scarred. So I will take this chance to say, please be very, very careful with hot liquids like hot coffee or hot tea, because it's not a joke. I have been burned by fireworks before, and it's a pretty funny story actually, but I'll probably save that for another time. Overall, I would say this is quite a nice action movie, a very tragic loss of Banyan's wife, but a very, very satisfying ending. I would have also loved to see Mike Lagana's face when all this blows up and then he gets arrested. Anyways, I guess that my 3 guesses at the beginning were completely wrong. Well, maybe not completely. It is about someone trying to kill a Banyan and then, you know, they failed to kill him and then he comes to take revenge. So I suppose one of my guesses was half right. So what do you think about The Big Heat? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching it with me. Hope you enjoyed my reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.